Hello again, everybody. John here with our official 1 month at-home Saturday Junior Clinic. So we've been doing this as the fourth one, so almost a full month. And by the time you guys see this, it will be a month plus since we've seen each other. So hopefully you guys are all doing well. Hopefully you guys are staying home, staying safe, and hopefully you guys are watching these and getting a little bit of golf in too. So we will be ready to go in a few weeks once we're back out on the golf course. As I've stated in previous videos, we're going to have some things change. Once we get closer to it, the date is officially set. I'll send an email out to the parents talking about what we need exactly from you guys as we get going, and what minor changes will happen just so we can continue to be safe. So week number 4, we've talked about a lot of the basics: chipping, pitching, a little bit of putting, and a little bit of full swing. I want to go a little bit deeper into full swing today, but we're not going to get too technical. We're just going to show you a couple positions that I want you to try and work on, and then you can see, again, I'm just using a golf ball, and I've got some rubber golf balls. I probably won't even hit any in the video today, just because I don't want to put a dent in my wall, and I know you guys don't want to put a dent in your wall either. But we can use just golf bag for a training aid today, and 2 alignment sticks. Again, if you don't have the 2 alignment sticks, same as I said last week, you can go ahead and just lay some clubs down on the ground. So you guys should know by now these 2 lines, what they are, where we stand next to them, and how we set them up. So they are running parallel. This is going to be your toe line. The one out here near the golf ball is going to be your target line, and those are the 2 lines that we're going to use today. So if you can set this up, if you can grab 2 alignment sticks or 2 clubs, lay them on the ground. Golf ball is going to be on the outside line. Toe line is going to be right here, both your feet right next to that, and then we're going to have a golf bag on the side. Doesn't matter if you have clubs in it or not. If you don't have an extra golf bag, just take the clubs out of yours. It's probably easier to take the clubs out just so they don't get damaged also. Okay, here we go. The first part of our lesson today is going to be just a little bit of a recap of what we worked on last week when we talked about the fundamentals and some of the basic, kind of the broad strokes, right? Just the overall general direction of where we want the club to move in the backswing. We went over that. We gave you checkpoint 1, checkpoint 2. Checkpoint 1 was, once we have these lines set up on the ground, when you take the club back and when the club is parallel to the ground right about there, we want it right on top of our toe line, okay? Normally you guys are doing a lot of this and getting that club too far behind you right off the bat. Okay, now what that causes is a lot of things that go wrong, or I should say not be as efficient as we'd like on the downswing, okay? And on the downswing obviously is the most important part. When we're making our way to the golf ball, when we're getting close to impact, the direction we're moving the club has a huge impact on what the golf ball does once it's off the club face, right? What it's doing in the air, where it ends up. Has a lot to do with the path the club is working on, okay? So we want to work on the path a little bit today. And most of you, if we have this bag set up in front, we're going to have our feet right on our toe line here, okay? So toes just right next to it. Make sure it's the equal space in between. You don't need to just be standing right on top of it. We just want to have the equal space between our toe and that line, with both our feet being the same distance away from that line. Now, where we put this bag is going to be just barely out of our reach of my left hand, okay? And if you're a right-handed golfer, it'll be your left, whatever your lead hand is, or arm, okay? And when we set up to it right here, if we can just barely reach for it and just barely touch it, that's in the right spot, okay, as far as how far in front of you it is. And the most important part is where we put it as far as target line versus toe line. So we want the base of the bag, the outside of it, and you can see what angle it's leaning at, right? Clubs are leaning towards me or behind me if I was in my address position. The base of the bag, the outside of that base, should be equal to your target line, okay? The more you move it this way, the easier it's going to be and the less effective it's going to be. Okay, everybody's a little bit different. Some people need to really over-exaggerate this. Probably 9 out of 10 of you guys do. And then there's a couple people that, maybe this isn't perfect for you guys. And hopefully, the Nates of the world. I know we started work on this when we were going one-on-one. Julian, Julian, you still need to work on this. But a lot of guys and girls definitely need to know, one, whether or not you need to do it. And you guys should be, by the end of this video, you should know if you need to do this drill or not. If you don't, send me a video of your swing, and I know most of your swings well enough. Just ask me a question in an email, and I'll let you know if this is good for you or not. But this is going to be a huge help in long-term goals of hitting the golf ball straighter. Okay, so once we set this drill up, we're going to go ahead and set up to a golf ball. If you don't have a golf ball, it's fine. We can still do this with just practice swings. do me a favor, don't have a golf ball, give me 15 practice swings a day. You'll get it in the second part of my email, which is kind of the weekly schedule for you guys. Monday through Friday, I'd love to see you guys doing at least a half hour a day of watching these videos, or at least 3 times a week. If I can get that from you, I'd be a pretty happy coach, okay? So as we set up to this one, again, just outside of arm's reach, we're gonna recap what we worked on last time. As we take the club back, right to here, we're gonna be right on top of the toe line, right? Okay, we're not gonna be back here, we're not gonna be way out here, we're gonna be right on top of an extension of the toe line, okay, when the club's parallel to the ground. Now as we hinge it, and we're gonna get to a pretty full hinge pretty quickly, we want the base of that club, if there's a laser beam coming out of this, that's gonna point directly at that target line, okay? Not down here by your toe line. It's gotta be leaning that way and at an angle pointed towards the target line, okay? Now once we get to this position, if you're right here and we've got a full hinge, the rest of the backswing is pretty easy. It's tough to do mentally to realize how simple it can be, but from this position, all we need to do is just turn a little bit more, okay? So this is the top of my backswing with an iron. Now as I start to swing down, there's a couple things that I look for. One, as I come down, you can see how the golf shaft is right through my right forearm, right? It's not coming down really, really steep. This is very, very vertical, okay? We still want to be at that angle. We want to bring the club back down as close as possible, maybe even a little bit underneath the original line that we drew on the way back, okay? Now here's the big thing for this one. As you start with it, don't hit golf balls. I just want you to do some practice swings. I want you to be able to swing all the way through and not hit this bag, okay? So if I do it again, real slow motion, and go as slow as we have to. Don't want you guys breaking a bag or clubs. There's checkpoint 1, checkpoint 2, finish the turn 3, swing through 4. And we're gonna try and not hit this bag. Now most of you guys, there's 2 things you're gonna see on the downswing, okay? So once we get to the top here, a lot of you guys get that feeling or have that desire to hit the ball really, really hard, and you try and use your big muscles too much, okay? So from the top here, it's not just a straight turn with the upper body. You can see when I start moving down with my upper body, that club, again, gets very vertical. It's difficult to keep it back here. The club wants to go this way, okay? So we want to work with the club as much as we can. So that's the big mistake that I see with you guys. We call it coming over the top here, swing through. If you do that move on the way down, you're gonna run right into the bag, okay? So give me 15 to 20 practice swings a day with this bag set up in front of you, where you can even do little half swings. Swing on the outside of that bag. And we're gonna start working a little bit more on better direction. That's gonna give you better contact. We're gonna be well on our way to better golf swing. So that was a little bit on direction the club head is moving, right? We call that swing path or club head path, okay? The direction that the club's moving. Now you can see since we're standing on the side of the golf ball, and why it's important to swing on the outside of that is the downswing. From the top of the backswing to impact, your feeling needs to be like you're swinging very much to the right of your target, okay? That's the point of having this bag here, to force you to go around it and to get that feeling, to practice from here down to here, getting that feeling of the club moving in the direction to the right of the target, okay? That's because we stand on the side of the golf ball. We've talked about it in other videos. You know, if we were playing pool and we were standing right behind it, then it's okay to have that club move straight up and down that target line, right? Since we're on the side of the golf ball, we need to feel like we're swinging out towards the right, okay? So from here to here, it's gonna really feel like you're swinging way out that way. Now why the ball doesn't go all the way out towards the right is because as we continue our swing and rotate around, I still have the feeling of swinging towards the right, but as I turn my hips and turn my body through, that brings the club back to the left, and again, on a proper path, or on plane is what we call it, okay? On the proper plane. So again, this is a big help for the start of the downswing all the way to impact. Now, if you're lucky enough to be hitting golf balls in the backyard, if you've got rubber ones, or even if you're hitting golf balls into a net, I want you guys to be aware of some of the common mistakes that you guys might have. Now, a lot of people get afraid of, you may be swinging down the proper path, but you're not hitting the golf shot that you want, right? Maybe the golf ball's starting right of your target. and it's not coming back. That's to do with your club face and the direction that the club face is pointed when it hits the golf ball. Okay, so that's the second part of what I want you guys to start to learn about, and what I don't want you to be afraid of. If you do this drill and you're actually hitting golf balls, rubber or real, and you're seeing a golf ball start off right and slice. Okay, we all know what a slice is. If not, you got to look that up. We've gone through it a bunch of times, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it today. But we know what a slice is for a right-handed golfer. Okay, and I'm pretty sure most of us are right-handed golfers. That is the golf ball moving in the air from left to right. We've put that spin on the golf ball to make the ball spin to the right. Okay, so how do we do that? It's a little bit to do with path, okay, but it's more where our club face aims in relation to that path. Okay, so if you follow with me here, if this outside line is my target line, okay, and let's say we're swinging straight down that line, okay, we're right on plane right to here, that's going to start the golf ball off on line. Now, if that club face is aimed right, okay, that's going to start it a little right, and it's going to spin even more because we've hit the golf ball with an open club face. Okay, so that would be square. That would be a little bit open. Now, if I'm moving in that direction with an open club face, the golf ball is going to spin off the face and create that spin going left to right for a right-handed golfer. Okay, so what do we need to do if we see that slice? If we're starting the golf ball right on line when we're hitting golf balls on the range or in the backyard or wherever you're doing it, if that ball's starting right off on line and slicing to the right, okay, again for right-handed golfers, it'd be going the other way if you're a lefty. We need to not necessarily fix the path, we need to fix what the club face is doing. Okay, so that's the second part of today's clinic, is over-exaggerating what the club face needs to do while it's moving in this direction. So we know it's got to be here, we know we got to hinge it, we got to turn, we got to get back down to here, and we're feeling like we're swinging way to the right. Okay, now what do we do with our hands? So what I want you to do again is to over-exaggerate this. I want you to start rolling your hands over, getting that club face, even though we're swinging from way behind here, as it comes back into this position here, where the golf ball would be, where impact would be. I want the club face facing perpendicular, okay, or straight down that target line, or I want it a little bit left, okay? Again, we're over-exaggerating it. Perfect shot would be swinging right down that line, club face is pointed right at your target or where you want the golf ball to end up, okay? I'd like to see you guys over-exaggerate this. If this is a perfect club face right at impact, I want it to be either right there or slightly left of the target, okay? Because I want you guys to hit a draw. Slices, it's what most people do, it's what most of my one-on-one lessons are trying to fix. And that's the majority of the time. It's got a lot to do with path, but it's mostly because of club face, okay? So just to add to the previous drill, what we're working on this week, as we take it back, we're gonna go through all these things, and we might even do a couple weeks of this. Position 1, okay, checkpoint 1, checkpoint 2, turn, okay? As we swing down, we're gonna swing right of that bag, miss it, and we're gonna roll our wrists over that way. So you can see as I do it, I'm gonna do my best not to break my TV. Checkpoint 1, checkpoint 2, finish the turn. Now as we swing down, we're gonna start rolling our wrists over that way, okay? You can see how my forearms roll over, my wrists roll over. That's gonna make that club face point left when it comes down to impact position, okay? So our path is going right, club face, once it gets to the golf ball, has to be either pointed right at the target, or I'd like to see you guys have it go a little bit left of the target, okay? So we're gonna start hitting some big draws. That's the start of having a better golf swing. Once we start drawing, and again, a couple of you guys might end up hooking it a little bit too much, okay? Or too big of a draw, too big of spinning it right to left. But I want you guys to learn how to spin it right to left, so then we can learn how to tone that down a little bit once we get back together and start fine-tuning some of this stuff. So again, today's just gonna be broad strokes on the full swing. We know a couple checkpoints on the backswing, right? We know what we want to start doing on the downswing. Start it back here, swinging to the right, okay? And then as we get near impact, we're gonna start rolling our wrists over and closing that club face, getting that club face to face left of the target when it comes into the golf ball. Okay, everybody, so pretty quick clinic today. Not a whole lot to add to what we've been working on for the last couple weeks, mostly because I want you guys to go over week 1, go over week 2, week 3. This is just a little bit of an add to week 4. This is plenty to keep you busy for this week, but I also want you guys to go back. I don't want you to move too fast through this. If you're not getting that backswing down, checkpoint 1, checkpoint 2, finish the turn, that's what you need to focus on this week, okay? So we'll keep at it. We're going to keep working through all this stuff. I want you guys practicing putting. You got plenty of stuff to work on. You got 4 videos now of all things. I'm happy if you're working on any of them, okay? Because they're all equally important. But I don't want you moving on to this downswing too soon. I want you guys to get that backswing as close as possible to those checkpoints. That's going to make it a lot easier to accomplish this stuff on the downswing, okay? So keep at it. Keep working on your putting. Keep doing your regular schoolwork. Keep staying at home, keep staying healthy, and I can't wait to see you guys soon. So have a great week, and I'll see you next Saturday. Thanks, everybody.